1 million lions. That's a lot of lions. Is it enough to beat one of every Pokemon? No. No, it isn't. They, they don't. And here's why. Welcome to Pokemon Answers. This isn't a question. Oh, and I know a war will be waged in the comment section, and trust me, I'm ready to win it. Okay, the Lions have two advantages in this fight, or really one, because the only other one I could think of that isn't them having a numbers advantage is the fact that Pokemon aren't real. But then at the same time, the real world population of lions, it doesn't even equal half of a million, so that being said, there's a lot of ways a Pokemon could take the W, and some require a few Pokemon, or even one. Yeah, we don't even need every Pokemon to beat a million lions. Firstly, let's talk about held items. Last time I checked, lions can't hold any, obviously, but Pokemon can, and there'll be no outside help for the Pokemon, meaning no Pokemon trainers just shout out commands, which is fine because Oranguru can take their place, but that won't really be needed. And Pokemon can only hold items that they will be able to hold in the wild, or it just makes sense them holding. It would make sense for them to hold that item. Some legendaries who would have a signature item would be a good example of that. For example, Zacian and Zamazenta would have their items, meaning they would be in their ground form, just because it would make more sense that way. But Pokemon like Dialga or Groudon won't have their signature held items. And why? Well, they don't really need it. It would be overkill. So let's start with one way the Pokemon would win. A strategy or strategies that I can't think of. But these three can. Alakazam, Metagross, and Uxie. These three Pokemon are so smart. One has the mind of a supercomputer, another has an AI in the thousands, and how are you supposed to outsmart the literal being of knowledge? Ignore that. It all turned out fine in the end anyway, as you can see, so. These Pokemon would probably be able to think up winning strategies more effective than anything I can think of in this video, with contingency plans alongside it for the most outlandish situations, like, I don't know, the lions making a lion tower to reach the flying Pokemon. Listen, lions may be good at hunting packs, but there's a reason they don't actively hunt for birds that are already airborne. How is a million lions gonna have a higher battle IQ than a supercomputer that probably already figured out how to beat at least a tenth of them within like 5 seconds? It's like having a sentient, smarter ChatGPT on your side that can shoot laser beams. And by laser beams, I mean flash cannon. If you're putting Hyper Beam on your Metagross, I can only assume that you're new to the game, like the animation, or just a 3-year-old that doesn't know anything about VGC. I'm not judging, I'm just criticizing. All I'm saying is that in a situation like this, with all these creatures fighting at the same time, Pokemon Legends Arceus shows that when a Pokemon wants you dead, turn taking goes out the window. You're going to need smart people on your team to develop a smart strategy. You have to remember that some Pokemon aren't just animals and have intelligence on par with humans. Next we have Hooper, in its unbound state, meaning that it's holding a prison bottle. But it's also worth remembering that the prison bottle, according to the anime, was supposed to contain Hooper's true strength, meaning Hooper Unbound is basically just Hooper in its natural state. Hooper in its unbound state would take out all 1 million lions with minimal difficulty, thanks to its portal rings. And the largest portal ring we've ever seen from Hooper Unbound is about yay big. And I'm going to assume the lions are a bit fairly distanced from each other, so one portal trap catches about 500 lions. Oh wait, it says here that it can transport entire islands in one of these hoops. Don't let Emu and Agorase get their hands on this one. If you understood that reference, I'm proud of you. But anyways, let's make that 1000 then. And did I mention that Hooper has 6 of these? And that it can move them at will, meaning the lions can't just move out the way. And oh, don't worry, the other Pokemon, Hooper can simply warp them away somewhere safe before it goes crazy with its hoops, so there's no, well, friendly fire. And, well, where would Hooper's hoops send them to, you ask? Well, let's just say, now we'd be able to test if all those lions would be able to beat the sun. Spoiler, they can't. Next we have Celebi, and Celebi's singular opponent in order to wipe out all lions in an instant. Assuming that it won't just create a completely separate timeline entirely, I'm sure Dialga can pull some strings or something like that. This is what? This is the common ancestor of all lions, and if Celebi wipes out a bunch of these, which I'm sure a mythical psychic onion baby is totally capable of doing, that the chances of lions even coming to exist go down to practically zero. And I guess that goes for all cats really, but that's just time travel. You can go back and fix it once the fight's over. And I don't even think that you would need Celebi. Dialga could probably do this on his own. It could probably just send back all 1 million lions back in time to fight the... What's with all these weird prehistoric names? The Chicxulub's Impactor. It's the same asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. I didn't know it had a name. And even if by some miracle some lions actually survive the impact, they'll just die of old age and never get to see the day of the fight. So yeah. Now let's talk about a deadly combination and an unlikely one. Eternatus and Shedinja. And let's just grab a Mew and a Ditto to get 2 more Shedinja by getting them to use Transform. Eternatus being the source of Dynamax can probably cause our 3 Shedinja to Dynamax, and well, what would they do? I kid you not, they would just turn their backs on the lions. I'm not kidding. It's believed that this Pokemon will steal the spirit of anyone looking into the hollow on its back. That's the Dex entry from Ruby. And, well, once the lions even glance at the abyss on Shedinja's backs, their soul will take a permanent trip there. Whether this will work for Mew or Ditto, I'm not so sure. But we might as well try. And if that doesn't work, the lions obviously know how to bite, so let's bring in Terrapagos as well as backup. And due to it being the source of the Terastal phenomenon, just get the Shedinja to Terastalize into, I don't know, an electric type. Lions don't know how to use ground type moves as far as I'm concerned, or set up a sandstorm or entry hazard, so I guess it's GG's. Okay, let's do the last few obvious ones before we talk about the easiest ways to beat 1 million lions. Groudon would just drown them in magma, Kyogre would just drown them in general, Rayquaza would just let 1 stray asteroid through to wipe them out. If 1 billion lions can't beat the sun, how are 1 million lions supposed to beat the beast that devours the sun? Gothitelle and Screamtail Perish Trap just need a way to get all the lions to hear it, or as much as possible, and you can do the Perish Trap with lots of different Pokemon repetitively. Those 2 are just the most competitively viable. Now we have 2 Pokemon that would be able to either wipe out all the lions without a second thought, or one that just makes its entire team. Alright, 1. We have Yveltal. Yes, I pronounced that properly. Don't judge me. If this Pokemon was a Minecraft command, it would be /kill at E-type lion. Secondly, we have Xerneas. How are the lions meant to kill any Pokemon if they all have immortality? Finally, we have Victini, the Victory Pokemon. A Pokemon whose whole shtick is that you can't lose if it's on your team. Some people may be wondering, wait, why didn't you include Arceus in this video? There's a reason I didn't include Pokemon like Arceus, Vampy, or Bidoof, or even Lord Helix for that matter, because this would be a waste of their time, and the thought of them even having to prove that they can fight 1 million lions and win is an insult to their entire being. Okay, that's it. Lions lose. There's no W in lions, but there is an L. Anywho, have fun in the comments if you so please. But until next week, I hope you hit all your fire blasts, thunders, and blizzards. Please keep your Hyper Beam TMs away from your Metagross, and keep daydreaming. Sorry, Lions. I'll see you in the next one.